On Monday, April 1st of 2013, I rushed inside the double doors of my middle school at 9:30 a.m., getting ready to be handed my tardy slip. I had my spring break homework in my backpack, a swollen temper on my face, and I was wearing my favorite school uniform that covered the bruises on my body. On Thursday, May 23rd of 2013, my sister and I were both separated and taken away from my mother's care. She was handed to her father, and I entered the system because I didn't have a father to claim me. It's been almost 7 years since the day that changed my life. One thing I can say is that I was one of the lucky few who had it good. Today, I'm here to address the history of the foster care system, as well as discussing both the negative and the positive side of the system. Acknowledging both the negative and the positive side of the system can bring awareness about the misconceptions that surround the foster care system. Firstly, we'll discuss what is foster care, why did foster care come to be, and how it came to be. Then we'll cover the exploitations, and we'll address the positive sides of the foster system as well. According to the Child Welfare Information Gateway, foster care helps youth provides homes to youth who cannot stay with their family. iFoster, a non-profit organization, actually stated that according to the most recent Children's Bureau statistic, that there was an estimated of 437,465 youth counting on September 30th, 2016, which is 10,000 more youth than the year prior. Fostering children has actually been around for centuries. It is known that the earliest documentation of fostering youth was actually written in the Bible. Yet, the foster care system didn't exist until the 1900s, and before the system was even established, there was orphanages, because many children were being left abandoned. In her essay on August 16 of 2018, Linda Gordon, a PhD graduate from the New York University, actually stated that by 1800 there were some 7 orphanages. By the 1830s there were about 23. By the 1850s there were more 70s. Then the Civil War, they expanded a demand for orphanages, and by the 1880s there were over 600. And throughout the decades, the foster system continued to expand and continued to develop as a foster system we know today. Now that I have discussed the background and the history of the foster care system, I'm going to elaborate more on the negative part of the system. I work for the Department of Children and Family Services, and in training that I had to take, I was actually taught that foster youth are 28 times more likely to be arrested as a prostitute at one point of their lives. This happens because youth who are in the foster care system are high targeted in the sex industry because they're most vulnerable than most youth. In 2015, Dale Margolin Keka wrote The Civil Rights of Sexually Exploited Youth for the University of Richmond, where he stated that children who have been involved with the system are the main target of criminals seeking exploit. According to one study, 98% of the children who are survivors of sex trafficking had actually involvement with the child welfare services. And traffickers actually mainly recruit from group homes and youth who are homeless because they have no family structures, and sex predators, they take advantage of this, and they start actually using the youth's essential needs such as food, shelter, or other personal items as bait. Another negative part of the system is actually that there's not enough resources for our foster youth. As an employee of DCFS, we always struggle with getting placements and housing for our youth, mainly because there's not many foster homes really take teenagers because they're scared of taking them in, and especially youth who are in the LGBTQ community, they actually take a high percentage of youth who are homeless. And if we were to do group homes, many group homes do have requirements, and many of our youth need more support than others. And because of that, because they don't take them in, many of our youth actually go AWOL and they go homeless. Now that we have kind of looked at the negative side of the system, we're going to take a glance at the positive side. One of the best parts of the foster system is stability. Sometimes, most of us land in not pretty good homes, and some of us do. And, having strong and healthy connection with the foster youth and their foster parents can actually give them a hope for the future and increase their chances of finishing school and even going off to college. The foster system also has this program called AB 12, which is also known as extended foster care. This program is for youth after they age out of the system, which is 18. If they plan on staying with the system, they can, and they can for 21. This being said, that if you do plan on staying with the system, there are requirements. For the youth to receive extra help from the system, they have to be working either 40 hours a month or be attending school, whether it's trade school, university, community college. They have to be doing either one to receive help from the government. A social worker, also called an AB-12, they continue to check up on the youth, and they guide them with things such as budgeting, getting their license, the California ID, and if you are going to a trade school or a university, the best part of the system is that everything is paid for. Everything. Which is one of the best parts of the system. Now that we have finally looked over the history of the foster care system, and we've had a blast to look at the both negative and the positive sides, we have looked at both sides, and hopefully that will be able to take away the misconceptions about the foster system. For me personally, I suffered through a lot. I always felt like I didn't belong, and I was just really, really lucky enough to have the support that I needed from my foster family and from my social workers, so they were able to give me the help that I needed. And honestly, our foster system has honestly failed more than it succeeded, and I think it's finally time that we change that. And I know that I'm here and I'm planning on studying to become a social worker, become something, because I want to be able to ensure the future of our foster youth somewhere or the other. Thank you.